Hello guys, welcome back to the after show segment of the podcast where we were interviewing Andre the brewer. And here we have a wonderful selection of beers that we're going to try
generous gift
on camera. And if there's an emergency, we have an emergency tissue box. And of course, we have a vocabulary list which accompanies this after show segment, which you can find in the private Telegram chat. So definitely make use of that vocabulary list. A lot of beers here. I'm being a bit of a wimp.
Oh, well, not wimp. There are three of us right now.
Well,
so
I'm only having the
you.
non-alcoholic alcohol because, like I said, I get really bad hangovers.
Andre and I are both having non-alcohol as well. So there are three of us.
Because
sensible.
I'm the driver today, so.
Oh, okay. Very responsible.
Yeah.
Very good.
I am the responsible of the group, so just bring it on.
The guinea pig.
Bring it on.
I'm the guinea pig, yeah. Oh yeah, I have 5.5, so I will start with that. Yeah, let's go.
Exciting.
Well, we have some interesting words that we need to share in English. So are we going to down these beers or are we going to sip these beers? To down a beer is like
This is
gulp,
so
gulp,
done-
gulp,
yeah,
gulp,
yeah,
gulp.
like all
bottoms
the way.
up. Yeah.
Whereas to sip is like
Well, this
Being
is a
civilized
tasting,
person, yeah.
So I think in order to be more fancy, we got to sip this. And then when the camera's off,
Yeah, that's
we
let
can
the
get
hell loose.
absolutely wasted if we
you know
want
what?
to.
What I love English for is that just like in Russian, there are so many words to describe the level of being drunk. Because when you've had a little bit and you kind of feel the effect, you're tipsy, but then you can be drunk, hammered, plastered, shit-faced, trolleyed.
Yeah, trolleyed. You said it. That's my
Pitch
favorite.
black.
Trolleyed is very British English. It's like, shopping trolley. Yeah. So
It's like when you're
can't-
so drunk, your friends
Yeah.
have to carry you in a trolley.
Yeah.
Love
But
it.
Andre, I don't imagine you get drunk very often. Do you not get drunk very often, or do you sometimes?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
He's
What
the
is
man.
life?
He's the man. He's drinking it, right? Yeah. So I would.
And has
yeah.
your tolerance to alcohol increased a lot? Can you drink a lot of beers and not get drunk?
Depends on alcohol.
Of course, yeah.
content, yeah.
Volume.
Yeah, yeah. of
But
course.
if we talk about usual light beer, I can drink 5, 6
Oh, okay. Yeah.
portions, and it will be okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get started. So here we're going to start with the non-alcoholic beer
Okay.
here.
I have a struggle of a girl with long nails because.
So opening the beer is a bit tricky.
I can help you.
Yes, please.
What excellent gentleman.
And they say chivalry is dead. Thank you.
Oh, excuse me.
You
Emergency
need to-
white. Emergency. 999. 911, sorry, if you're in America. Wipe. So we were discussing in the podcast the importance of labels, the importance of graphic design.
Mhm.
And as you can see here, we
Oh
have
my
a
God.
beautiful,
I see.
a
So the thing is,
beautiful
that,
can.
yeah,
Let me
as
show
a,
it to the camera, actually. I hope the camera stays in focus. So here,
It's a beer called Red Lion, and we brewed it last year for Rage Marathon,
you know
in-
what?
which take place in Novosibirsk every September.
I absolutely love it when
This is
companies.
sweet, right? I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
You drink
We got
a beer
so excited.
called Tea Ceremony.
Hmm.
This beer with lactose and milk alone.
Okay.
And it due to these ingredients, it has
Sweet taste.
milk aroma and
No, you
I
should
got
have.
it right now. Yeah.
You should have just asked him so what do you feel and the aftertaste. But you know what? I absolutely love it before we try when companies produce something for some events. Because let's say this one is for the marathon. This year, Novosibirsk is the capital of New Year in
Yeah.
Russia. So I know that some companies produce special cider, both alcohol and non-alcohol cider, with the logo of Novosibirsk being the capital of everything. And when you look at this, I have the urge, to kind of get hold of these cans and just collect them. Because they're just
you can
so
make
cute.
make a wall with labels.
Fame wall.
Wall of fame. Well, let's cheers before we get started. So let's cheers.
Cheers.
To Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
So let's try it, and we'll give our verdicts. That is absolutely delightful. That's amazing. For a I didn't realize that a non-alcoholic beer would be so
Right. So people
flavorful
have a lot of stereotypes, maybe misconceptions about non-alcohol drinks. They're like, "Oh, this is not real drinks and everything."
This tastes like an actual beer.
But yeah, it does.
Actually, it's partly true that it's no real that non-alcohol beers is not very tasteful. Because
it's different.
There is dependence between alcohol content and taste intensity.
Mm-hmm.
Then higher alcohol,
The more intense.
The more intense.
Well, that's true. But I mean, when you can't drink for some reasons, that could be like such a nice, joyful thing. Because let's say I'm not allowed to drink until the end of 2023. So it's going to be a long, long, long sober year for me. But at the same time, I'm like, I miss the drinks.
But this tastes just like a proper beer, which is why I'm so delightfully surprised. So for those of you who want to try the brand, it's called Yo Ho Ho.
And a bottle of rum.
And the one, yes, Yo Ho Ho. So written in Cyrillic letters like I kratkoya O Ha O Ha O. Exactly. And
that's all right.
The one I'm drinking is called Red Line Non-Alcoholic Ale. So it tastes like a proper. It's actually amazing how much it tastes like a real alcoholic beer without.
So I have hope for the future now. Actually, that's what I love about nowadays. So even if you can't, let's say, drink alcohol or you can't drink milk for some reasons, you nowadays can find alternatives not to feel left out. Because especially now, there is a pub that I really love in Novosibirsk, which is called Hammersmith. And I used to go there so often. They got me a named glass, with my name and everything on it. And I haven't been there for so long. They're like, where are you? We miss you. I'm like, I can't drink. They're like, we have alcohol-free beer for you. I'm like, you know what? Now we're talking. So, so I can still feel, this fear of missing out, FOMO. You're like, oh, I can't go to bars because what am I going to do there? No, I can go to bars because I can drink, at least something.
So yeah, what about you, Or? Tell us about your beer. So you're the real man.
You have two.
This one is kind of as sweet as you explained. Like I felt that milky kind of thing.
Yeah. So what is it called? It's called China Ceremonia, yeah?
Yeah.
So tea ceremony.
Yeah.
It's kind of a light and sweet.
I'll sniff it 1 second.
And have a sip if you like. So
no, I'm being a good boy.
Oh, all right. So
Such a good boy.
This one is a smoked brown ale.
Called Transip. Yeah, it's
cool.
a beer with smoked malt.
Cool.
It tastes like bacon. So I like it.
Can I have not a sip, but I want to smell it.
A whiff,
that's all right.
You can say WHIFF.
Oh my goodness.
It's bacon, Yeah, go for it.
Oh, the smell. It smells really like,
bacon in a can. Oh, this is funny. So the way that's great. And the funny thing, I don't know if you realize, but in some English accents, particularly Jamaican British English accents, the way they say bacon and beer can is the same.
Oh, really?
So yeah, beer
kind
can.
of explains why I couldn't really understand my roommate from Jamaica.
It's a great accent. I love it. It's such a rich accent with so much history. But yeah, beer can, bacon.
But I have a question actually to Andrew. So some time ago, our country got into quite a difficult situation when we couldn't get some ingredients, some borders were closed and everything. What do you think is the future of beer industry? Because I remember when I was talking to he's a co-owner of Friends Orchestra and everything. I was like, how are you guys doing? And he said, you know what? Beer we can make is the problem with wine. But then some people say that some of the ingredients like the malt and the hop, people used to get from other countries. So Can you tell us about like future? How do you see it? How do you picture it?
The future of Russian brewing pretty unpredictable because, for example, our brewery use only imported hops because hops producing in Russia is very small. It's only one region which produce hops in a big volume, and this volume can cover only 5% of needs of hops at this moment. And specific of hops growing is it takes minimum 3 years.
So even if they start
from starting to
The harvest,
yeah.
So which means that even if they start, growing,
it's very long time process, and dependence from imported ingredients in Russia is very, very big, and a lot of imported malts too in Russia. But our brewery use Russian malts from a Russian company. So we use only imported hops and yeast because yeast. But you can buy Russian produced yeast at this time. But for us, it's more comfortable to use dry imported yeast from.
Well, especially when you know how it acts, what kind of flavor it gives and everything.
Yeah.
Should we expect beer to become more expensive in the future? Because now it's more difficult to get hold of things.
Of course, after March or April,
the dark times will come.
The price on ingredients is getting very high. Got very high. Price on hops grew up twice. But in this summer, prices rolled back. Yeah, and now we buy hops even cheaper than in the start of year due to
currency rate.
Currency, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, with imported and everything, I remember. I used to drink. So I have my favorite, which is oyster stout. My huge love, God, the drink of the gods, really. And I remember when in February the prices started to slowly grow. I used to buy it for like $3.90 or something. Then it got $4.80, and at the end, with the last barrel of this stout, it was $6.90 for a pint. Dear.
So did you pay $6.90?
It's oyster stout from Scotland. It's worth it. It's worth every penny.
God, you
so
crackhead,
I did.
You.
Oh, it was the last barrel. That was the very last oyster stout.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it may be.
Right. No judgment in your voice right now at all.
No, I'm sure it was a nice beer. That was worth.
It's not. Nice is not enough of a word to describe it, So, but now there is obviously it's mostly local and everything, which is just, what's interesting is that I believe that within this year, a lot of breweries kind of step up their game, because I remember the first stout that my favorite pub got from Moscow Brewery in March. It was bottled beer and it was not really good. So you could taste it's too bitter. It's as if something was burnt. The same very brewery got all the feedback into account. So they listened to the pubs and the customers and everything. They remade this beer. God, and it's so good now. It's like drinking chocolate, really. So I feel like this situation can give a chance to some breweries to step up their game.
And what's your market share? So where do you situated yourself in Russian market as a brewery?
I think that we are invisible in Russian market
Okay, think about Novosibirsk.
because our brewery is tiny.
Okay.
In scale of brewing industry.
Mm-hmm.
So we produced only 10 to 11,000 liters per month.
I love the only.
Only, that's,
Like for us, it's like the what?
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
11,000 is okay, promising.
So our brewery pretty small, and but we tried to
Expand it.
yeah, of course, we want it, but there is some difficulties in this because the beer like this or this.
The transceivable.
They are pretty expensive in producing.
Mm-hmm.
It's contains expensive ingredients.
Well, because
like
the tea ceremony has, you said, oolong tea,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
in
yeah,
general
like
is a
oolong tea, a lot of this
oolong.
and lactose, and all of these ingredients are expensive,
Yeah.
and we can get this cost in price of beer, and it's for many people it's too expensive products.
What's the cheapest beer to make?
We make.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Or just in general.
unfortunately, I'm not sure about prices in shops and bars because
Oh yeah, we're talking about more
I
about
mean, the
producing.
production. Yeah. Which one's the easiest and the cheapest to
easiest.
make?
Actually, non-alcoholic ale is pretty cheap
Nice.
in producing because it's for this beer we use only small amount of malt and a little bit hops, and the producing cycle is very short comparing with another beers. So it's quite cheap.
Is it popular though? I mean, I can imagine that a lot of beers are bought every day, every week or something. But what about non-alcohol drinks? Are they popular in Novosibirsk? Do many people buy those?
Yeah, it's popular, and I can say that our beer is getting more popular during this year because a lot of alcohol beers which sells in restaurants and bars, they was imported from Germany and so on, and now they are this supply channel is closed, and many many bars buy our non-alcohol beer.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Because really, until I got alcohol free, unfortunately, I cannot emphasize it enough how much I miss it, So I had no idea how much variety there is. Because I always thought, like, do we actually have non-alcohol beer? And I'm like, oh, we have wow, that is cool. That is cool. When you can't, for some reasons, to drink, you can always find an alternative nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I've got another question actually. How old were you when you had your first alcoholic drink?
So this is an after show, which means it's not going to be on YouTube or anywhere. So we can be honest.
Yeah.
So
I think when I first had a drink, I was around 10, 11.
I mean, I'm talking about like little
13,
sips as well. Like it could just be like a little sip. 'Cause my
12,
parents, they
13.
gave me a tiny sip when I was a little kid just to try beer. Were your parents open with trying alcohols?
My grandparents share beer with me when I was 8
Nice.
years old, but it was very little amount, like sipper beer form
Yeah.
or so on. Yeah, it was very, very good times. But after that, I start drink as
full time.
as adult. Only in I was 15.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, that's usually the age when like boys love to start drinking, and because before you're 15, beer tastes a bit strange, and then when you're 15, it's
kind of get a
just
taste of it.
exactly. It
Yeah.
starts to taste really good.
Well,
Yeah.
but however, what is the drinking age in Russia? 18, right?
Yeah.
So Britain, 16.
It's a quite complicated question. Overall, if you go to a shop, you need to be 18 to buy any alcohol. But if you go to a pub and you're with your parents or guardians and you have a meal, you can buy beer, cider, or wine at the age of 16. At home, you can drink at any age.
You can drink at any age.
In England and Wales, it's over the age of 5. You can drink anything over the age of 5 at home in a private premises. I'm so fascinated by drinking age laws. I don't know why.
Interesting. Because in the US, it's 21 for all types of drinks.
Yeah. And
I mean, officially, because
do you think 21 is a ridiculous age? It's too high.
I think for light alcohols, light drinks like beer,
Yeah.
it's too high.
It's ridiculous.
I mean,
yeah.
look, so people.
Maybe for strong alcohols,
I would
spirits and so on, maybe it's more for proper.
Yeah.
Because if we think about it, so at the age of 16, 18, kids are allowed, people are allowed to get a car, drive, get married, do anything, buy guns, by the way, but
drink.
not
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah.
Are you for real?
Well, guns are 18.
Well, 18, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 16 for driver's license.
Yeah. In some states, it's even lower. It's 15.
Well,
That's why in America it's 21, is because I think it was called the National Highways Act of, I can't remember which year it was, but it was the 80s, I believe. And the federal government would not fund states highways if they had a drinking age below 21.
it's very interesting. At the same time, if you go to any liquor store in the US, there is usually what they call a wall of fame with all the fake IDs they got from people who pretended they were
Did you have a fake ID, Andre, when you were a teenager? Because I had a wonderful one.
Yeah, I correct the copy of my passport.
Yeah.
And show this woman
Seller at the shop.
Seller, yes, seller. But it works a couple of times. But but on the third time they
were like, you know what?
Yeah.
So yeah, but in the US,
she didn't believe me.
Did you go to the same place all the time?
Yeah.
Or maybe that was a mistake, But in the US, so many people get like fake IDs and whatever.
It's a huge industry, and in England too, it's quite big.
I know that a lot of people like, hey, can you buy me some alcohol?
Yeah,
like,
I was about to say that. I use that technique instead of the fake ID. All right, I pay you extra. Can you please go buy something to me so you can have the change for yourself in a way? So that was my thing. Yeah.
And in Turkey, are they relaxed with the drinking age, or are they very strict?
18, yeah. If you're under 18, you're in trouble if you get something.
And what about smoking? Is it also 18?
Also 18, yeah.
Because in England, at one point it was 16, and then
18.
they raised it to 18.
Do a lot of people smoke in Britain?
Quite a lot. I mean, obviously less recently, but yeah, it's quite a lot of people smoke. It's not as much as Germany or Switzerland.
I remember that a pack was like £15.
Oh, it's ridiculous, yeah.
And I was surprised to see a lot of people smoke. I'm like, £15 for a pack.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
You can get like a couple of pints, even like 3 pints of beer, but only 1 pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, it is. It is outrageous. Yeah, but what do you think the drinking age should be for light drinks? So in Benjaministan, if I were the dictator of a country, it would be, I would say beer should be 14. What do you think?
10.
10. All right. Yeah. All right. Orstan.
10. Why not?
Yeah.
That works.
What do you
The
think?
light beer, maybe.
I think even 18 is okay, but if the laws is pretty soft for early
Like underage drinker for
Yeah.
those who are
Yeah.
who are younger than that
Yeah.
age. Yeah. I'd say like 15, 16 for soft drinks, maybe. But again, with the same idea. And 18 maybe for like all the hard liquor. Because 18, it's supposed to be the age when you get more responsible,
Yeah.
Or even if you're not, because still a lot of people get drunk, and everything. You learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, why not?
Whether the law likes it or not, kids will find a way to
Wait,
get
yeah,
beer.
there's a backdoor.
We've talked about this, and we had a podcast about alcohol in general where we talked about this. And I was telling the story of how college students, when they, first years and everything in the US, they were 18 or something. Every time there is a huge university party, professors and whoever make a bet how many people are going to be taken away by ambulance because they don't know how to drink yet.
Wasted.
Every time there is at least one person, two people who do not know how to cope with their alcohol, and they're taken away by ambulance. Yep.
Life.
Yeah, it wastes so much money in the British healthcare system. It's a nightmare how many ambulances get called to deal with
I read a book about
drinkers.
alcohol industry in Britain, actually. It's called To Drink or Not to Drink. Absolutely amazing book. It doesn't say, no, you shouldn't drink, but it's more about how to make it so you don't have a hangover. So what is drinking? How does it affect our body and everything? But at the same time, the author's like,
It makes sense, yeah.
yeah, so it's more about, it's your choice. He drinks whiskey every now and then, so let's say, and so on. So I loved it.
Well, Andrew, tell us, are some types of beer even healthy for us? Like maybe like a little bit of, I don't know, a sour beer. Would that be healthy? Would it be good for digestion? Because like some wines are known to be a little bit healthy in small amounts.
Unhealthy or healthy?
Or healthy, yeah, healthy. Some wine, like some red wine is known to be healthy.
Sometimes if you have a stomach расстройство.
Oh, issues, yeah.
So some issues, some of unfiltered beers can be healthy to correct microflora.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because unfiltered beers contain live yeast, and they can not correct.
Like settle, maybe. Yeah, to settle the problems, yeah.
Interesting.
Can help you in this way. If we talk about sour beers, if a beer too sour, we can regulate this. But if this beer too sour, it can be not very healthy for stomach, because it's too sour and can damage.
Yeah, it can kind of irritate.
Yeah.
Irritate the stomach.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, I'm certainly enjoying this beer.
And of course, every beer is healthy for your mood.
Your mood, yeah. Definitely. Well, yes, it can make us jolly. So,
Jolly.
guys, let's chin chin.
Yeah.
So, Happy New Year to
Chin,
everyone.
Post.
Merry Christmas. Post, yes, look in the eyes. You have to look in
You
the
have to
eyes
look
of
in the
hers.
eyes. Yeah.
You have to look in the eyes when you do it. So,
Post.
yes. So, Happy New Year. And let us know in the comment section what you think. Tell us what your favorite beer is. And try Yo-Ho-Ho beer if you're in the Novosibirsk region.
Definitely
Or can you buy Yo-Ho-Ho in Moscow?
I'm not sure, but sometimes we sell our beers to Moscow distributor.
Yeah. Well, if you're in Novosibirsk, for sure, you can definitely try it. And where can you buy?
You obviously can buy our beers in St. Petersburg now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, which shop would you recommend for our listeners to go to try in Novosibirsk?
In Osmus, of course, it's our own bars. It's Friends Orchestra bars like Hammersmith. In Hammersmith, we can.
In my heart.
Yeah, in Hammersmith, the base beer, it's our beer.
So yeah, well, let us know.
I've been in love
try
with your beer before I even knew it.
Well, let us know in the comments. Write a review of the beer. Practice your English skills in the comments section, and we'll see you in the new year. So thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye for now.